Maha Atma, expanded intelligence. Mahanubhavaha, expanded influence. Mahatam, of the great souls. Mahistaha, the greatest. Pravruddha, well matured. Bhaktya, by devotional service. He, certainly. Anubhavita, being situated in the Anubhava stage of ecstasy. Ashaye, in the mind. Niveshya, entering. Vaikuntam, in the spiritual sky. Imam, this material world. Vishhasyati, will quit. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. That topmost devotee of the Lord will have expanded intelligence and expanded influence and will be the greatest of the great souls. Due to mature devotional service, he will certainly be situated in transcendental ecstasy and will enter the spiritual sky after quitting this material world. Please repeat the translation. That topmost devotee of the Lord will have expanded intelligence and expanded influence and will be the greatest of the great souls. Due to mature devotional service, he will certainly be situated in transcendental ecstasy and will enter the spiritual sky after quitting this material world. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There are 3 stages of transcendental development in devotional service, which are technically called Sthayi Bhava, Anubhava and Mahabhava. Continual perfect love of Godhead is called as Sthayi Bhava, and when it is performed in a particular type of transcendental relationship, it is called as Anubhava. But the stage of Mahabhava is visible amongst the personal pleasure potencies, energies of the Lord. It is understood that the grandson of Diti, namely Prahlad Maharaj, would constantly meditate on the Lord and reiterate his activities. Because he would constantly remain in meditation, he would easily transfer himself to the spiritual world after quitting his material body. Such meditation is still more conveniently performed by chanting and hearing the holy name of the Lord. This is especially recommended in this age of Kali. Next verse, I will recite myself. Maharaj, the exemplary devotee of the Lord, had all the good qualities humanly possible. Although he was the emperor of this world, he was not profligate. Beginning from his childhood, he was the reservoir of all good qualities. Without enumerating those qualities, it is said here summarily that he was endowed with all good qualities. That is a sign of a pure devotee. The most important characteristic of a pure devotee is that he is not lampata or licentious. And another quality is that he is always eager to mitigate the miseries of suffering humanity. The most obnoxious misery of a living entity is his forgetfulness of Krishna. A pure devotee therefore always tries to evoke everyone's Krishna consciousness. This is the panacea for all miseries. Presents the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gauravaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here Kashyapa is enumerating the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. So he is saying Savai Mahabhagavato Mahatma. So he is the best of the devotees of the Lord, Mahabhagavataha. Mahatma, and He is not also not a devotee, but he is a Mahatma. He is one with expanded intelligence. Not only expanded intelligence, Mahatam, and he is having expanded influence also. Mahistaha, so Mahanubhavaha, expanded influence. Mahata Mahistaha, and he will be the greatest of the great devotees. Pravruddha Bhaktya, with his unalloyed devotion service or with his matured devotion service. Anubhavita Asaya, he is always in ecstasy. Because of his advanced devotional service, he will be always in ecstasy. Niveshya Vaikuntam imam vihasyati. Once he quit this material body, in this material world, imam vihasyati, niveshya Vaikuntam, he will enter into the spiritual world. Because of so many glorious qualities of pure devotee, he is assured of entering into Vaikuntam. So in the purport, Prabhupada explains that there are 3 stages of ecstasy qualified. They are called as Sthayi Bhava, Anubhava and Mahabhava. So continual perfect love of Godhead is called as Sthayi Bhava. And when it is performed in a particular type of transcendental relationship, it is called as Anubhava. But the stage of Mahabhava is visible among pleasure potencies of the Lord like Srimati Radharani. Mahabhava Swarupoyam. The ecstasy which is beyond one's capacities. They are not presented by any ordinary persons. So only the personal attendants and personal pleasure giving potencies of the Lord, only they exhibit this highest stage of ecstasy which is called as Mahabhava. Then other glorious qualities of Prahlad Maharaj here. Alampataha, Shiladaraha, Gunakaraha. So he will be very virtuous, Alampataha. Shiladaraha, he is extremely qualified. Then Gunakaraha, he is a reservoir of all good qualities. Then Hristaha, he will be very jolly. Then Parardhya, he is happy in others' happiness. Then Vyatito Dukkiteshu, he is distressed in others' distress. And Abhuta Shatruhu, one who has no enemies, who doesn't treat anybody as his enemy. That's why they are known as Abhuta Shatru or Ajata Shatru. Then Jagataha Shoka Harta, he will be the destroyer of the lamentation of the universe. Like Na Naidhagikaham Tapam Iva Uduraja. Like the pleasant moon, Udurajaha, after the summer sun. So the tapam, after the extreme heat, when we have that full moon, the coolingness of the moon, we will experience that coolness and we will forget all the fatigue what we have gone through the day. So Prahlad Maharaj had all the virtuous qualities, all the good qualities. A sample of his qualities have been enumerated here. In the purport, Prabhupada says, the most important characteristic of a pure devotee that he is not lampata or licentious. And another quality is that he is always eager to mitigate the miseries of suffering humanity. So their compassion has been exhibited here. And they do not take it for granted. Because I am a great devotee, I am not bothered for anything. They are very responsible in their duties. The most obnoxious misery of a living entity is his forgetfulness of Krishna. So this is the most significant problem for the living entity is his forgetfulness of Krishna. So the pure devotees, by their Krishna consciousness, the capacity of their purity, they invoke the Krishna consciousness remembrance in other conditioned souls. So this is the greatest panacea for all miseries. Panacea means medicine. So this is the highest medicine for our bhavaroga. For the cycle of birth and death is remembrance of the Supreme Lord. So the pure devotees give us this highest medicine of making us remember the Supreme Lord so that we can go back home, back to Godhead. So the mood of Prahlad Maharaj we can understand when he offered prayers to Narasimha. So in one such context wise we see, Yedi dasyasi me kamam, my dear Lord, if you are willing to give me or fulfill my desire, dasyasi me kamam, if you want to give me any benediction, Varam Swam Varadar Rishabha, give such a benediction, oh my dear best of the Lord, who can give all the benedictions? Varadar Rishabha, who is qualified to give benedictions. Kamanam Hrudi Asamroham, Bhavatastu vrinevaram. My dear Lord, I do not want any benediction, such that I want only benediction that there are no material desires in my heart. This is the only benediction I want from you. See, I have seen everything. What benedictions materially, what maximum one can achieve, my father has already achieved. What is the use? After having so many benedictions, in a moment he is killed by you. So there is no point of accepting something which is futile, which is temporary. And you know, I am a person who is coming in that same bloodline. So if you allure me with so many of these materially waste benedictions, so it is like enticing me to go in the wrong direction. So why I should prefer something which is wrong? And I have experienced this. My father has lost everything in a moment. So I should not tamper around for these material things. I request you to bless me that I don't have any material desires in my heart. So see the understanding of his maturity of knowledge. That's why expanded intelligence when it is said. Then, so after hearing this response, Lord blessed him in 3 perspectives. The first perspective he says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Naishkantito me mayi jatu ihashita Ashashate amutrachaye bhavad vidaha tatapi manvantaram etad atra daiteshwaranam anubhungshva bhogan. He said, my dear Prahlada, a bhavat vidaha, a devotee like you, because you are the best of the personalities, naikantito me mayi jatu ashishaha ashaste. You do not desire any material benedictions from me, because I know you are of your Shuddha quality. Because of your purity, I know you do not expect anything from me. Iha amutracha, either in this life or in the next life. Nonetheless, tatapi, daiteshwaranam anubhungshva bhogamatra. I order you to enjoy the opulences of the demons in this material world. Manvantaram etat, acting as their king until the end of the duration of the time occupied by Manu, you rule this world and enjoy this material opulences. This is the first instruction. Become the king and rule this world and enjoy the material opulences. Because I know you will not get carried away by these material opulences. You will never use them for sense gratification. You will engage them only in preaching devotion service. So better you stay long, so that when you are setting an example, people in general will be able to follow you by example. And the purpose of this material creation is to liberate these living entities will naturally happen. So this is the first instruction. Then the second instruction. Katamadiya jushamanaha priyastvam aveshamam atmani shantamekam sarveshu bhuteshu adhyajnam isham yajashva yogena cha karma jihinman. He said, perform bhakti yoga by always thinking of me. This is the second instruction. So, it does not matter that you are in this material world. So, katamadiya jushamana priyastvam. You should continuously hear the instructions and messages given might be. Katamadiyaha means the kata regarding me. Jushamanaha, which you should hear attentively. You should learn about these instructions. Priyastvam, because I am very dear to you. You are very dear to me. You should hear my instructions. And aveshamam, you should always be absorbed in me. You should always be thinking of me only. Because Atmani Shantamekam Sarveshu Bhuteshu Adi Yajnamasham. I am that Paramatma who is seated in everybody's living entity's heart. I am that one who is very dear to the living entity. Therefore, karma hitva, give up this fruitive activities and yajashva yogena, in pure devotional service, worship me. So this is the second instruction. Perform bhakti yoga and always think of me. This is the second instruction. Then third instruction. So why did the Lord ask him to perform being a king and enjoy sense gratification? And second time he is saying, be a devotee and engage in devotional service. So here Narasimha clarifies why he had asked him to do the other two aspects. Bhogena punyam kushalena papam. So by enjoying, you destroy your punya. By tapasya, you destroy your papa. See, when we have to go to the spiritual world, we should be clean in our account. So any punya remains, we have to come back to enjoy that punya. any papa remains, we have to come back to suffer that papa. So Krishna is saying, clean up your account. So bhogena punyam, by enjoyment you clean up your punya. Kushalena papam, and by acting piously you will neutralize impious activity. Kalevaram kala jivena hitva, so being as time factor, kala javena, you will automatically give up this material body. Once the time is done, you will quit this body. Kirtim vishuddham suraloka gitam, your name will be so glorified, even demigods in the heaven will chant about your glories. Kirtam vishuddham, they are extremely pure. Your glories are extremely pure. Suraloka gitam, even the demigods in the heavy planets will glorify your character. Vitayamam yeshyasi mukta bandhaha. So in that way, you will become mukta bandhaha, free from all this material bondage. Then mam yeshyasi, and you will return back home, back to God. So this is the third instruction. Exhaust your pious and impious karma and come back to me in the spiritual world. So in the further place also, the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj have been enumerated in the 7th canto. They say he is Brahmanyaha. He is completely cultured as a qualified Brahmana. Then Shila Sampannaha. He is a reservoir of all good character. Then Satya Sandaha. He is determined to understand the absolute truth. So then Jita Indriyaha, one who is controlled his mind and senses. Then Atmavat Sarva Bhutanam, like a super soul, he is very kind to all living entities. Then Eka Priya Suhruttamaha, he is the best friend of everyone. Like the super soul is the best friend of everyone, he is also the best friend of all living entities. Then Dasavat Sannata Arya Angrihi. So you are like a menial servant at the service of great personalities like Mahatmas. So then Pitrvat Dina Vatsalaha, you are like a father. To the poor, you are like a father. You are very compassionate for the poor people. Then Bhratarvat Sadrishe Snigdho, you are to the equals. You are attached like a sympathetic brother. Then Gurushu Ishvara Bhavanaha, who considers his teachers, spiritual masters and other God brothers to be non-different from the Lord. So then Manastamba Vivarjitaha, one who is completely free from unnatural pride. Which arises, when will pride arise? Vidya, Artha, Rupa, Janma, Adaya. So when there is education, we become proud of our education. When there is money, opulence, we become proud of our opulence. When we are beautiful, we become proud of our beauty. So when we take birth in a good family, we become proud of our birth. So all these things will cause manastambaha, unnatural pride in us. So, but he is free from all this unnatural pride which arises from these qualities. So then further qualities are enumerated. Nodvigna chitto vyasanena nishpruhaha. So then Shutreshu Drishteshu Guneshu Avastu Drik Dantendriya Prana Shariradi Sada Prashanta Kamo Rahitasuro Asuraha. So although he was born in a family of Asuraha, he himself was not an Asura but a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Rahita Asuro Asuraha. Although by birth he is an Asura, but he is not an Asura. He is greatest devotee. So unlike other Asuras, he was never envious of Vaishnavas. He was not agitated when put into danger. Na udvigna chittaha vyasaneshu. When in problem, he was not agitated. Nor shutreshu drishteshu. Nor he was directly nor indirectly interested in fruitive activities described in the Vedas. So it is guneshu avastudruk. He considered everything material to be useless. Avastuhu, which has no value. So then Nishpruhaha, he is devoid of all material desires, free from all material perspectives, no material aspirations. Then Dhanta Indriya Prana Shariradihi Sada, one who is always controlled his senses, his life air, he is being study intelligence and determination. Then Prashanta Kamaha, one who is subdued all his material desires. Then, Yasmin Mahat Guna Rajan, oh my dear king, Prahlad Maharaj has all these good qualities, Mahat Gunaha, Gruhyante Kavibir Muhuhu, which are glorified by learned saints and Vaishnavas, where they glorify about these qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. Nate Aduna Pidiyante Yata Bhagavati Ishware. So, Yata Bhagavati Ishware, as the Lord, all the good qualities that are found in the Lord, Yata Bhagavati Ishware, Nate Aduna Pidiyante. So, Prahlad Maharaj also possessed all the good qualities like the Lord. He had nothing of this, nothing short of the Lord's qualities. He exhibited the behavior like a Lord. So, in that way, he is setting an example for all the people, so that how a devotee had to lead his life. How, when approached by the Lord, how he had to, a character of the devotee is judged. Like when Lord comes in front of us and says, my dear Vatsa, what benediction do you want? So our heart at that time, what it brings out, will be able to be judged. What is going on in our consciousness? Are we matured enough or not? And some more qualities are mentioned. He is known as Krishna Graha Grihita Atma. Means, since his mind is always affected by Krishna consciousness, he could not understand how the world goes on as absorbed in sense gratification. Then, he sometimes cried, sometimes laughed, sometimes expressed jubilation, and sometimes sang loudly. He was always in ecstasy. Krishna Graha Grihita Atma, like a person who is haunted by a devil, how he acts, Pisachavat. So similarly, he is been engrossed in ecstasy, so that he forgot what is external activities. He does not know what is happening to the world. He does not know how the days are going on, how the nights are going on, because he is completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. He is full of ecstasy of Krishna consciousness. Next, Govinda Parirambitaha, means one who is always protected by Govinda. Like as a child on the lap of his father or mother, one who is always protected. Here, Prahlad Maharaj was always protected by the Lord, and he had full faith in Lord's protection. Whenever they threw him from the mountain, he did not feel bad. When he was taken into a room where there was dark dungeons, he did not bother. When he was put under the feet of an elephant, he did not bother. When he was put into a boiling oil pan, he did not bother. So any punishment, he never feared, because he had complete confidence that Lord will protect him. So thus being always embraced by the Lord, he did not know how his bodily necessities, such as sitting, walking, eating, lying down, drinking and talking, were being automatically performed. So he was doing his regular duties, but he was not conscious of his activities. As a matter of fact, his body was engaging in its regular duties. Now, after understanding all these things, we might think, so let us also have that confidence. So he has no fear. So let me also have no fear. Let me go and stand in front of a running bus. What will happen? Will Lord protect me? I will have so much faith that I will also stand in front of a running bus or a running train. What will happen? So we will become mashed up when we stand there. See, sometimes we have to understand the instructions in such a way. So how to apply them is very important. So Shankaracharya was teaching his disciples about the attitude, you should see the Lord in every living entity. So when he said that, at that particular time, they were on a forest path or in a city area where there was a market. And at that time, there was one mad elephant which was running towards people. So whoever is coming, they are coming, it is coming and hitting them, and whoever is on the path, it is destroying them, mashing them up. The Mahat was also there running behind, asking people to run away, clear the way. So one of the disciples, when he said, Sir, Master, you said that the Lord is there in every living entity. So I will stand there. So Lord is there in the living, in the heart of that elephant also. He will take care of me. But the elephant came, kicked him aside and went away. Now he asked his guru, you said that Lord was there in every living entity. Why did Lord not protect me? Shankaracharya said, see, I said to you, Lord was there in the living entity. So Lord, you are seeing the Lord only in the elephant's body. You are not seeing the Lord in that Mahot's body who is shouting, get away from here. So you are only taking one perspective, you are not taking the other perspective. That is the foolish understanding of the taking the instruction. You will do only what is beneficial for me, you will not take the other part. So whenever pure devotees' qualities have been enumerated to us, we have to understand them in a proper sense. And we should not imitate their character. So these qualities which are naturally developed in pure devotees, artificially we cannot claim them. For 1 or 2 days, people might get carried away by our qualities. By third day, they will get to know he is faking around. And because a pure devotee, he sets an example for others to raise their standard naturally. So by getting attached to pure devotee, by becoming connected with pure devotee, we develop those qualities. Not artificially, we cannot develop them. Independently, we cannot develop them. In their association, by practicing bhakti, we enhance our qualities like pure devotees. So then, some of other qualities are, he is very eager to attain the Lord. So he was praying to the Lord, when will that moment come that you will call me to the shelter of your lotus feet? In one of the prayers, he says that. Then one more special quality of Prahlad Maharaj was, he is eternally living in Vaikuntha also, and he is eternally staying in this material world also, like the Supreme Lord. Lord gave him that benediction. He is an eternal associate of the Lord in Vaikuntha, and he is eternally staying in Sutala planet, where Lord is also staying there as Vamanadev. Then he had a divine aspiration. He did not want to enjoy the estate left by his father. Rather, he wanted to become a servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord and remain in touch with pure devotees. So always that qualification that I am directly servant of the Lord is never approved. He is saying, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Gopi Bharta Pada Kamalayor Dhasa Dasa Dasanu Dasa. So here Prahlad Maharaj is also saying, let me become the servant of the Lord. I don't want to become the master of this material world. So these are some of the qualities what we have to understand. So similarly, one more perspective I was hearing last 2-3 days. So people generally question, see now there are many opposing elements. They start raising doubts about our philosophical perspectives of Vedic scriptures. So one such doubt what was put forward was, this is between Vaali and Sugriva. So why did Lord Ramachandra kill Vaali from behind the tree? Why did he not face him directly? So for this, Valmiki Ramayana and Madhvacharya, based on their inputs, they give various reasons. First thing is, if Vaali is an ordinary animal and Ramachandra is, by qualification, he is a Kshatriya. So how do kings hunt animals? How do kings hunt animals? They hunt animals incognito. They will stand behind a tree and they try to hunt the animal. So if Vaali is an ordinary animal, Ramachandra is a Kshatriya, he has done his duty of killing an animal. This is first perspective. And this is a question put forward by also Vaali in front of Ramachandra when the last, why did you shoot me indirectly? Why did you not directly hit me? The second one was, if Rama would have appeared in front of Vaali, Vaali is a greater devotee than Sugriva. And Vaali would have immediately surrendered to Lord Ramachandra. And he would have immediately fly to Lanka, bought Ravana as a capture, and brought Sita Devi and would have given immediately to Lord Ramachandra. But this will prove one more point, that Vaali is superior and Rama is incompetent. So this is the second reason. Then the third reason was, Ravana is an abductor of another's wife. Vaali too is an abductor of brother's wife. If you are following Dharma, then if you are abductor of somebody's wife, you are Atatayinaha. We see in first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Atatayinaha. An aggressor has to be killed. So Ravana is supposed to be killed because of his aggressive act. So Vaali is also to be killed because of his aggressive act, because brother is still alive. And if Rama would have taken help of Vaali, means, so one person who has offended, you are taking help, and one more person who has offended, you are killing, this will be improper dharma. This is one more reason. Then fourth reason, Hanuman had given already shelter to Sugriva. A pure devotee has already given assurance to Sugriva. And Vaali disrespected Hanuman's advice. So he offended the Vaishnava. Even though Sugriva is lesser in devotion, because he took shelter of Hanuman, so Lord will first support the devotee because he has given assurance. Kaunteya pratijanehi name bhakta pranashyati. Because bhakta is promising, Lord will adhere to that promise. Then fifth reason, Vaali had a boon which was given by Shiva, that whenever somebody fights with him, he will take away 50% of the opposite person's strength. So with that capacity only, he was defeating everyone. If Ramachandra comes and stands in front of him, will Vaali be able to take away 50% strength of Ramachandra and become Ramachandra? So that boon will not be valid. So when that boon is not valid, tomorrow somebody goes to Lord Shiva and says, "Are you have given a boon which is invalid. Why should I worship you?" So to keep the word of Lord Shiva also, to not disrespect Lord Shiva's benediction also, and to kill Vaali also, Rama had to kill him from behind the vision. So various perspectives are there, not that simply we are blindly accepting something. Lord Ramachandra acted as per dharma. He is setting an example of a Maryada Purushottama. And one more perspective is, this is regarding glories of the holy name as it continues. So after one more perspective was in that direction. Sugriva and Vaali, they are brothers. Enmity between brothers, how long will it exist? So as it was started with confusion, it would have ended unnecessary also, easily they could have ended. So Rama did not kill Vaali by his nature. It was Sugriva who insisted that you have to kill Vaali. So on the insistence of Sugriva only, Rama had to kill Vaali. And Sugriva later realized his mistake, and Vaali also realized his mistake. He calls his brother Sugriva and says, "Please protect my son, protect my family, take care of this kingdom, forget this enmity." At the time, Sugriva also will realize what mistake he has done. Out of greed or out of disturbed mind, he wanted his brother to be killed. So in the next life, because of his offense of killing Vaali, next life he becomes Karna, and Vaali becomes Arjuna, and he is killed by Arjuna. Tick for tack. So next. So later, he has given because he has promised that if Vaali is killed, when he becomes king, he will help Ramachandra in finding out Sita. So he ordered all the monkeys to go in 4 directions, and he gave 30 days time. So different monkeys in different directions were there. Vinata towards east, Hanuman towards south, Shushena towards west, and Shatabala towards north. They were the leaders in 4 directions. But Lord Ramachandra, he called Hanuman and he gave him his ring. And he said, "Give this ring and you will be able to find out Sita and you come back victorious," and he blessed him. So he did not give any reference to other 3 people. Why did he choose only Hanuman? So here the qualification of Hanuman comes into picture. Hanuman, one who does not rest till his duty is performed, and one who is capable of executing the duty at all risk. So Lord Ramachandra is confident that only Hanuman is capable of executing this task. So that's why he was given this ring. So some people may put question, if Ramachandra is Supreme Lord, then already Jatayu had informed that Ravana had abducted Sita Devi. Still, why did he send monkeys into different directions? He knows where is Ravana's kingdom, Lanka. He could have directly gone to Lanka. Why he is going around? Why he is asking monkeys to go in all directions? So generally, when a thief steals a vastu, he doesn't hide at one respective place. He hides elsewhere. He will not hide in his house, being feared of getting caught. So Ravana would have also hid Sita Devi elsewhere. With that intention, Lord Ramachandra sent monkeys in all directions. So all the directions they went, 3 groups came back except Hanuman's party. 29 days they had been struggling hard, they could not find anything. They searched every inch up to Vindhya mountains to the bottom of almost to the bottom of the Indian part. After 29 days, they became exhausted. They came to a place, there was a cave, and they saw beautiful birds like karandavas and swans coming out of that cave. So they thought there might be fresh water is there. So they entered into the cave. They found one woman who is daughter of Manu staying there. So she received them nicely, and the entire area. As soon as they chanted the holy name, it was dark. Cave means dark. As soon as they chanted the holy name of Lord Ramachandra, it became entirely lightened. All the darkness was gone. They saw beautiful trees, beautiful flowers. It was very nice world inside that cave. There was nice drinking water like nectar. So she received them nicely. She gave them fruits, water and all. She took care of their hospitality. She even shown direction how to come out of this cave. So then one of the monkeys by name Tara, who was the uncle of Angada, then he started putting question. So he said, almost 29 days is over. We did not find Sita. And there is no assurance in one day we will be able to find Sita. So if we go back, Sugriva has given a warning. Who comes back after 30 days, he will punish us. And we know the mentality of Sugriva. He is a strict punishment man. We go back, he will punish us and he will kill us definitely. If he is able to kill Angada only, what to speak of we insignificant monkeys. He will kill every one of us. So better don't go back. So we'll stay here itself. What do we require? We require some trees, we require some fruits, we require some drinking water. Everything is available here. Let us stay back here. Then Hanuman, he became little angry. Everybody agreed to that proposal. Angada agreed, Jambavan agreed, everybody agreed in that group. But Hanuman did not agree. He said, this is not the duty. You have been enumerated a task and you have to execute that task. And if you do not follow, and if you try to go with this wrong man's wrong intelligence, he is the one who contaminated Vaali to fight between the brothers. Because of these wrong directions, Vaali lost his life. Now all of you also will lose your life because of his wrong man's judgment. If you are not going to follow, I will enforce. Samadhana, Dandaveda, I will do. And all of you follow Dharma. So okay, then they all started walking out. They came to the ocean where Mahendra Parvata was there. So they were all sitting there. Now they were thinking, one day what can be done? One monkey asked, who is Rama? If his wife is gone, why are we searching here? What is our connection to him? Why are we struggling? Then Hanuman understood the principle and he started glorifying Lord Ramachandra's character. He started explaining about qualities of Ramachandra, how Ramachandra came here, how his wife was lost. Like that he was narrating the entire life history of Lord Ramachandra. So when he was narrating, nearby there was one bird by name Sampati, who was Jatayu's brother. So who lost his wings? So they were all sons of Aruna. Aruna is brother of Garuda. So when they were small, every day they used to compete with each other to exhibit their strength. So one day they started flying. Who will be the first one to reach the sun? So Jatayu was flying faster. So Sampati was there. He was also following him up. But when they came near the sun, because of the excessive heat of the sun, the Jatayu was supposed to get burnt. So what happens? Sampati will expand his wings and protect his brother. And because of that excessive heat, Sampati's wings get burnt. And he falls down. So and when he falls down, he wanted to commit suicide because he can't fly. How he can attain food? So there is no point in living. When he wanted to commit suicide, then one of the rishis by name Nishakara informed him, no, you should not die. There is one destined work for you. In future, when monkeys will come in search of Lord Ramachandra's wife Sita, you have to give them direction how to proceed towards Lanka. So when they come here in their association, when you hear the glories of Lord Ramachandra, you will get back your wings. So in that way, he blessed him and he asked him to stay. But now how for his survival? In the meantime, your son will every day go outside and procure food for you and provide you the food. So in one such of his excursions, when the son went out, he went towards Lanka and he saw Sita Devi in Lanka. So he came back and informed the father that Sita is in Lanka. So when Jatayu started hearing the glories of Lord Ramachandra, his wings which were burnt started sprouting with new feathers. So then he immediately came to the place where the monkeys were there. He sat down in the assembly, like everybody are sitting here, a visitor will come and he'll also sit in the assembly. But that huge figure, by seeing that huge figure, monkeys got disturbed. Never seen such a huge bird. So they all became disturbed and they stopped chanting the holy name. So then in the meantime, Hanuman asked him, "Who are you, sir? Why are you here?" So then Jatayu said, "You continue chanting the holy name, I'll show you one miracle." So because Hanuman also said, because we have no other idea, because the monkey was asking 29 days is over, we don't have what to do, we don't have intelligence of what to do further. So let us chant the holy name of the Lord, and they all started chanting sincerely the holy name of Lord Ramachandra. As soon as they started chanting sincerely for some time, Jatayu became fully grown with his wings. All his feathers came back, he went to the top of the sky, and he made a one round in the sky, and he came back and sat down. See, vultures or birds, they are very sure and very sharp at identifying the objects in the ground, even though from top of the kilometer. So when Jatayu went, he heard that from his son, that Sita Devi is in Lanka. So from there he could see after 100 yojanas in which specific tree, where in Ashokavana that Sita is sitting there. He, from his vision, he was able to perfectly see the Sita form in Lanka. He came down and sat down there. Then he had asked all these monkeys, "Who are all you? Why you are all here? What purpose are you here?" So then Hanuman will explain the entire purpose of their reason here to search for Sita. Then Jatayu gives them the direction. Yes, from here 100 yojanas down, there is Lanka, and in Lanka, in Ashokavana, under that specific tree, Sita Devi is sitting there. So this is the glory of the holy name, that Jatayu got back his wings. So in that way, see how to understand the Vedic perspective. See, every personality, like hearing the words of pure devotee, the impact on others. So that's why we are advised to hear on Prabhupada's words. So when you hear that pure devotee's words, that impact on our consciousness, how even though that unwanted things might be there, they will all get cleansed up, and we'll also develop the devotional qualities. Like how Jatayu developed his wings, we also will develop the devotional qualities, and we also become pure in our endeavor, and one day we'll all go back to God. So this is the glory of hearing the devotees, the qualities of the devotees from the pure devotees' mouths, which will enhance our devotional service and which will bring us closer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I'll stop here. Any doubts or questions? Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanand.
Golden Temple వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణ వాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణ వాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 913310